So Facebook yesterday came up with a little meme and a little message that said, looking forward to going to share with the folks at Mendocino CSL and then going to Humboldt.
That was how many
That
years
was
ago?
2018.
Wow.
And that came up like 2 days ago. So obviously with the years, Sunday got shifted. Is that amazing?
That's amazing.
So I was with y'all in 2018, and that could possibly have been the last time. So you're one of my 260 churches that I've done over the years. So thank you so much for inviting me. It's wonderful. What a wonderful congregation too. I've done, as she said, many churches, and some of them are so stiff. And the gong rings and everything happens and everybody's nervous and everybody's uptight. And this was just so wonderful to have people, making announcements and to me, this is so much what community is about. So y'all got it happening here. I'm sure you know it, but I want to commend you because it's really beautiful to witness. So good job, all of you. So I'm going to be sharing some ideas and some tools to help us navigate being spiritual beings in a human experience. Anybody kind of aware that that's what's happening? So I have to assume I'm not the only one who's been a little bit challenged to kind of hold my center and hang on to my peace in these apparently what appear to be very chaotic, very divisive times, from wars to political differences to just kind of craziness is from my perspective. So sometimes I feel like I'm just hanging on to the pieces of my peace and that my life is held together with spit and bubble gum and duct tape. Anybody? Paper clips, anything I can find.
Blue patriots tape.
Yeah, I was going to use that. I forgot to grab a piece and have that up here as an example. So good. I'm glad I'm not alone, that I'm not the only one having a little bit of challenges. So Sangha is a Sanskrit word for community. It's from the Buddhist and yogic traditions. And it means spiritual community. And that's what you have here. And it's all about the practice of creating a culture of love and acceptance and peace and belonging. And I'd have to say, walking into this room, and I can say I have walked into churches where I went, I probably will never come back here because they didn't feel right for me. Doesn't mean that it wasn't working great for other people, but you know how you find your people?
Yeah.
So I could be here. I feel great with y'all. So the power of coming together in a peace sangha or a peaceful community is immeasurable. It's a way and a place for us to support each other in being the peace that we want to see and create in the world. So some of the spiritual practices are taught by all of the great teachers, from Jesus to the Dalai Lama to people like Martin Luther King and Mother Teresa. They were all living examples. Some of them, I'm grateful, lived in my life and are still in my life, are still alive while I'm here. So Dr. Ernest Holmes said, "It is done unto us as you believe." And the emphasis is the word "as you believe," because the power of our thoughts is tremendous. Jesus echoes the same sentiment when he says, "For us to believe in it, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." So this is what Jesus is talking about. For us to believe in and experience peace in the world, we must already be a part of that peace. We have to be working on that grounded center that can be so elusive when things feel chaotic. There are so many great teachers: Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Martin Luther King, and they all mastered this spiritual tool that can be so elusive. They found a way to embody their belief systems and to find a way to very powerfully lean into that when things got wacky. Mother Teresa said, "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." To me, that is one of the most powerful quotes ever. And on another completely different continent, the Ubuntu says, I am only because we are.
Yes. Right.
Isn't that beautiful? That was a new one for me, and I love quotes. So these simple words, if we really take their meaning into our hearts, they can move us very quickly from a sense of separation or anger or frustration or judgment. Anybody suffer from the judgment gene? I'm getting better at it, but it just comes up so quickly when people seem so diametrically opposed to where I'm at. And when we can lean into these practices, we can move really quickly away from that to acceptance and compassion. And we all know how powerful compassion can be. It's probably one of the most powerful actions, most powerful emotions that we can feel toward other people. So even though here we are in our little individual earth suits, I like my earth suit today, wearing
Super cute.
my spring colors or my fall colors. We're just here to grow and learn. I love the vision of earth suit because it's like we're all these little pieces of light that are all from a greater light. And so we're in here, but so often we forget that we're in here and this is our little form, but we're a part of something that is so much greater than our little form. That when we remember that interconnectedness, everything comes together so much more beautifully, so much more compassionately. So when we come together in spiritual community in a Sangha, we amplify our collective energies and the intentions of peace exponentially. So it's not just us and our little forms, it's a group. And what does it say in the Bible? Wherever two or more are gathered. This is so true. This is scientifically proven. So peace is on earth now. It lives in every one of our souls, but sometimes we forget that. And we need to remember to embrace the concept of interconnectedness and oneness. So Dr. Holmes reminds us of this by saying, peace is always at the center of our soul. I think I'm going to put that on a Post-it and stick it on my mirror. So on our own, a problem or situation can really feel overwhelming, which is why when we join together in spiritual community, we have the support of other people. We have the shared vision, the shared intention of our community. So what a powerful thought it is that this safe place resides not only in every one of us, but in community when we're ready to create that. Eileen's part of the Gather the Women's Circle I do. And it's been amazing how gathering the women, mostly in my neighborhood, but I'm in Boulder Creek, which is up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but we have people who drive quite a ways. And when there's an emergency, no matter where that person is, I see the women in our circle step up. If somebody's getting a hip replacement or somebody's got COVID, people are there dropping off soup. This is community. It doesn't have to just be church. It can be any community. It can be your yoga group. It's my polar bears. I'm an ocean swimmer, and we have a club called the Polar Bear Club. Yes, we're all a little crazy, but we have a good time. So St. Francis of Assisi says the same thing. When you are proclaiming peace with your lips, be careful to have it even more fully in your heart. That's pretty good advice. So I asked a few people that were here earlier, does anybody in here Om? A few of you do, good, because I'm going to need help. I'm not much of an Omer. But I want you to all, this is a great way. I mean, Om is in Hindu scripture, it's defined as being the original vibration of the universe. Wow, that is some powerful stuff. The original vibration of the universe. So I want you to put your feet on the floor, and we're just going to Om 3 times together. And I want you to pay attention and see if you feel the energy in the room shift a little bit. And I'm not a super comfortable Omer, but headquarters suggested that we try this. So you can join me in my discomfort. And those of you who are comfortable can help me feel comfortable.
If you try to sound like the singing bowl.
Oh, where's the bowl?
Have you ever, it's almost the same thing.
Okay. Is there a ringer?
Yes, yeah, it should be there.
I do. Okay, but I'm just gonna
I
bang
think
this
that's
in.
the idea.
Yeah, you go around it to do. Might be a little.
It's kind of high for an Om.
Yeah.
Oh. So I'll take a deep breath together and blow it out. I don't know about you, but my hair stood on it. I guess this stuff works.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. That was powerful.
Yeah.
There's some really good omers in here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for carrying that part for me. So, I think I'm gonna do that more often. That's a very powerful Hindu practice. I invite you all to join me in adding that to your rituals. So my BFF and I, who is actually the guitarist on that, we have this thing that we call the committee. Anybody else have a committee that lives in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck. They're one of my friends that I walk with, she calls it the board. And we'll be talking, she'll go, oh my God, the board's been working overtime. And I can tell by the nods, you all know what I'm talking about. It's like, it just gets in there. So doing things like chanting, sitting in the silence, singing affirmative affirmations, these are all practices that we can do to kind of quiet down the committee. And sometimes taking action on whatever the committee is urging us to do can be very, very helpful too. Because usually, at least my committee comes up when there's something that I need to be looking at that I'm resistant, and it just keeps kind of in my face, reminding me, or in my head. So it has a purpose, but we can't let it run our lives. So Robert Fulghum, anybody read Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten?
Love his
If you
stuff.
have not read his books, he is a Unitarian Universalist minister. He is brilliant, he is funny, he is poignant. He's got messages from the other side of the refrigerator door. He's got great stuff. I highly recommend him. And this is a quote by Robert Fulghum. Peace is not something you wish for. It is something you make, something you are, something you do, and something you give away.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a really important component. What a deep understanding this man has, and what a high bar for those of us seeking that inner peace that guides and sustains us. So since I was a child, I have always sought to be a part of something greater than myself and to have a sense of belonging. I was a Ritalin guinea pig. I was what they called hyperactive back then. So I wasn't a normal kid by most standards. And so feeling like I was a part of something or belonged instead of the problem child was a big thing for me personally. So my goal as a musician has always been to create music that has messages of unity and belonging, compassion, understanding, and things that would, lyrics and messages musically that would bring people together and have people feel like they were a part of something greater than themselves. Sometimes I've succeeded brilliantly, and other times I've been a miserable failure. So welcome to the music business. But we each have a personal journey to master. We each have our own gifts. And it could be serving at a homeless lunch. It could be handing $1 to the guy at the corner that's just trying to get by. It could be great things, presenting at the Parliament of the World Religions. It can be having your own church. It can be the littlest act of kindness, smiling at a stranger, getting a door for somebody. But we all have a piece of this puzzle that is powerful. And for me, I'm really glad that when I, at 2, I knew that I wanted to be a musician. And so that's been my path. So all of the major religions teach the importance of inner peace. Most provide avenues to work toward it, from meditation, prayer, social activism, retreats, and various practices like oming. So how do we show up in our everyday lives to help promote other people feeling safe, other people feeling at peace, people feeling like they belong to something greater than themselves, a support network, a sangha? There's so many tools available to us if we're willing to master and use them in our daily practice and living. And to me, when I looked at people like Mother Teresa, now you gotta know, her journey was not easy. And I've read some of her books, and you know, there's admissions of going, this is far too big for me to handle. Why did you give me this job? And you know, Jesus on the cross saying, you know, why, why? So, but we see people that are living examples of mastering these tools and be able to have people spit on them and to be able to take their hanky and hand it back and say, I believe this belongs to you. That happened to Martin Luther King. It's like, what grace. So we know it's possible. So it's something that we can all work to achieve. Ernest Holmes says, you and I know that no matter how confused we are, if we would get by ourselves long enough and think peace, we shall become peaceful. Peace is the divine reality at the heart of God. So if it's at the heart of God and we are all parts of that greater energy, that means it lives in our hearts too. So am I the only one who has a little trouble carving out time for meditation and stuff? Oh, please, somebody else raise their hand. Thank you. So I swim. I mentioned my polar bear club. I swim daily, either in the river near my house, which is colder than, oh my goodness, right now, or the ocean. And I don't swim much in Santa Cruz because it's kind of dangerous and cold, but when I'm there, I swim there. But I beat up on myself and I go, God, you really need to practice. And then it occurred to me that that is my practice. Those 30 minutes, I am communing with Mother. The earth is rocking me when I have the time to just lay back and lay in that water and let her hold me. The energy that I feel when I really tune into how that water feels, this is my meditation. It's not only my exercise or my cardio or my social time sometimes, but it is my meditation. So we need to be aware that if we don't already have practices, that there's simple things like when you wash the dishes, to just totally be with that water, that soapy water, and see how it feels. When you're taking a shower, to just kind of embrace that this is God's gift, this water that we're in, and to just have the full experience, immerse ourselves in that. So there are such simple things that we can do that are right there in front of us. So in the years prior to the COVID pandemic, spiritual communities really kind of started to explode. And then when everything was shut down, we went online, thankfully, for the technology. As much as I don't like communicating with people through technology, what a gift that was. But even after we started to meet again, there was a sense of isolation that has remained for a lot of people. So I think it's really important that even though cultures praise people for being strong and independent, we are communal in essence. We're communal and interdependent beings. So I think we need to embrace that and encourage that part of us, and to invite more people into our sanghas, into our communities, because there's people that you might know really well that you're not aware how isolated they're feeling for whatever reason. So this is another just simple practice that we can do to help people connect in. So this is another don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's Ubuntu.
Yes.
This is another, if we are able to see ourselves in other people, our experience in the world will inevitably be a richer, kinder, more connected one. If we look at others and see ourselves reflected back, we inevitably treat people better. So there's that same concept from Mother Teresa to Jesus, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. The whole oneness concept. Ernest Holmes says, we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of one spirit. Again, that same concept of oneness, this thread. I mean, I love the imagery of redwood trees because they don't have a big taproot, they have a web that connects them. They share information, they actually hold each other up in windstorms, they share nutrients, and you cannot see that from above the ground. It's under there. And so that was such a strong metaphor for me that I have carried that. Every time I meet somebody, especially somebody that really bugs me, I just go back to that imagery that there is a thread between me and this annoying person, sometimes that annoying person is me, that connects all of us, that there is a oneness that is always there. So one of my most powerful practices that I do is creating chants and that I use in meditations. So I'd like to share one. Are you guys up for doing that? So I want to do kind of a guided visualization with this. And it is to get comfortable, and I want you to picture a white light coming through you and going through your body, down your legs, and into the earth. And then I want you to picture that white light going out into this room and filling this little room. And then I want you to picture it going out to the community. And then into the county, and then into this whole area. And then around the world. And I'll guide you a little bit, but I think you get the concept. And feel free to sing along. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Shalom. Peace. be with you. Love be with you. Shalom. Shalom. Just keep picturing that beautiful white light. The war zones. To all those in need. Hold that peace in your heart. Let's send it everywhere again. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Shalom. Peace. Shalom. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Shalom. Peace. Shalom. Shalom. Peace. Shalom. One more time with all your heart. Shalom. Peace. Shalom. Let's take a deep breath together. Ooh, you guys did
Wonderful.
twice. Thank you. Doesn't that feel powerful? So there's a lot of things that we can do in our world to make it work better. Because sometimes it doesn't seem to work quite as well as it might. So I find affirmations that I repeat throughout the day. Simple things like, I have all that I need and more. That one was a really hard one for me to originally embrace because I had such a lack of prosperity consciousness for a lot of my life. I still struggle with it sometimes. Ask my husband, he'll tell you all the dirt. but affirming that I have all that I need and more has been really powerful for me. Another one that I love is this or something even better. This or something even better. And my favorite probably is, I am at peace. When things really start to get crazy, I was in the middle of a kind of a little confrontational thing with our polar bears, and it was just one of those weird fluky things where voices got raised over nothing. And I wasn't actually there, but when people were sharing about it, the energy was so toxic and so intense, and I just kept repeating, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And somebody afterwards said, wow, you were like coming from a really clear place and helping us sort out what happened. And I went, thank you. So these tools work. So, and I create simple, empowering chants like the one that we just did that are so helpful for me. I mean, people go, oh, you write such beautiful stuff for us. And I'm like, no, because I need these messages. That's why I get them. And I'm just blessed that I have a medium that I can share them. And I love sharing them. So every December 31st at 4 a.m. in the morning, there's an international, anybody know about the global peace meditation? My husband and I have done it probably for well over a decade. You're exhausted the next day because usually you stay up. But this is so empowering, and about 40 minutes into it, you can feel this energy because it's a global thing. And if you really tune in, it's so powerful. So these are some of the wonderful things that we can do that we can work on our own and with other people to help co-create a peaceful, compassionate world that works for everyone. So I want to close with this is part of a much larger poem, but this was so beautiful to me. Her name is Talia Hunter. And she says, peace visited me, and it reminded me that I may remain calm through the storms of life, regardless of the chaos surrounding me. I'm going to read that one more time. I love that peace visited me. I love that imagery. Peace visited me, and it reminded me that I may remain calm through the storms of life, regardless of the chaos surrounding me. So I hope you'll hold that in your hearts and remember that it ain't over till it's over. And it's up to us to keep our act together and be those peacemakers. It's not that hard. Sometimes just being the calm voice in the scary situation is enough to diffuse negative energy. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Karen.